What's poppin', people? It's Tisha Star back again for another review. The first thing you need to do, though, if you want to follow my lead on any of this, is find you an item to flip. And this desk I found for free on Facebook Market. Today we're here to tell you about how well that HD TV Sherwin paint worked. Ovation Plus, let's get into it. The desk came from a printing company that was in business for over 50 years, so this desk is pretty old. And as any of you would know, wood, it could hold smells. So what you want to do is disinfect it. I'm going to spray everything down with bleach and water mix. It's pretty saturated. I'm not even going to wipe it down because I want it to seep through, and this is some really good wood. So at 50 years old, I knew that this desk was giving a lot of stank. So I went and put baking soda in all of these bowls so that I can put them inside of every drawer. I left the baking soda inside of the drawers for 4 to 5 days before I ever touched it. It was time to remove the hardware. We didn't want to go with that antique look. We wanted something more modern. And guess what, guys? Just for you, we are going to be having a giveaway. So at the end of this video, there's going to be instructions on how you can win the set of that rose gold and clear acrylic hardware. Is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm telling you, they look fly. So stick around. Now, just like the 50-year-old stank, I knew that this desk had 50-year-old dirt. So it was time to get down to it. I felt the most proper thing to use was the grease cutter because I just knew that this was getting ready to be a nasty, dirty job. What I tell you, a big bucket of 50-year-old dirt. But anyway, Black Sheep House. I need to give credit where credit is due. I watched a few of her videos and she was my motivation for doing this video and doing this review on Ovation Plus, which, by the way, I'm going to give my rating now. It's a 10-star for me. It came out looking like the paint had been airbrushed or spray painted, and I actually used a brush. So her techniques and everything I tried to do on my own. Some of them I had to improvise, but if you are interested in refurbishing some furniture, go check out Black Sheep House on YouTube. So when you use the brush and then you go over it with the foam roller, it takes out all of the streaks and it makes a smooth finish. The color I chose was called Passive Gray. So I know it looks a little white, but it's actually a very light gray. I only used 2 coats, but I did sand in between the coats because I wanted to get rid of any rough patches, any bumps, bubbles, anything that I missed during the roll. So make sure that you get a nice fine grit sanding paper and go over that top coat. Get the nice old dirty rag and make sure it's still damp and wipe away all of the dust because now it's time to seal the deal. With a clean brush, clean foam brush, you can start applying your top coat to seal in the color. You're probably wondering why I sealed the dresser drawer. I thought it looked nice, but everyone else didn't, so I failed to peer pressure and ended up painting it the same rose gold as the handles. This Contigo cup I used as the guide for my faux marble did not help. I cannot draw one lick. So my faux marble looked nothing like the cup, but that's what it's there for as my guide. I found these really pretty tin foil flakes, but it was more pink instead of rose gold, so I didn't use them. This glitter, much better choice. Perfect. So I had those small cups for paint. That's my water bottle so that you can miss your striations as you're drawing them. Those are the paint brushes that I use, and the big brush I use to dab out the design. And you can just watch from here to see how I did it. I kind of dipped it into the paint and I rolled the paintbrush. I didn't actually just paint it like flat down like you would with a pencil or pen. I took the paintbrush and I twirled it around in my fingers. Any of you that have ever installed a kinky twist, then you'll know what type of twirl I'm talking about. But others that have not installed a kinky twist, you basically just take the brush and let it roll in your fingers while you're applying the paint color. So the entire purpose of this redo was because I didn't have a vanity in my room and I didn't want to buy one. I wanted something that was unique to me, but I knew that there was going to be makeup and foundation, concealer, so I wanted a top surface that was going to be easy to wipe off, easy to clean, and I went with the epoxy top. But I made some mistakes, so I want to be able to tell you exactly what they were. It's still 30-40 degrees here in Chicago, and I mixed the epoxy, I warmed it up, I heated it up before pouring it, but as soon as I poured it on top of that desk, it started to thicken up and I could barely move it. You're talking about ticked and peed. Oh yes, I was ticked because guess what? I knew better. I've been working with epoxy now for about a little bit over a year. So I knew better. So for those of you that has never worked with epoxy before, be sure that you are in a nice temperate environment, because 30 to 40 degrees in your garage in Chicago, that's too cold, boo. Get your heat gun or your torch, and in between coats, make sure as it's drying that you are blowing out all of the bubbles, because you don't want a finish that has a lot of air pockets and bubbles. And just so I'm transparent, here's a photograph of all the divots and rivets after the first pour. So make sure that you're not in a cold temperature. Okay, so after I made that first dumb mistake, I made sure that I sanded down all the divots and rivets, and I made my second pour. I poured the epoxy in those rivets first and then poured it over the rest of the desk, and it turned out amazing. You're going to make mistakes. It's not always going to be foolproof, but hey, it was glowing, it was shining, it was giving everything it was supposed to give. The final step was me using that Dixie Belle Orange Grove Big Mama Butter as a wood treatment to make sure that that smell, that 50-year-old disgusting old smell, didn't come back and attack me later while I was in my sleep, creeping up my nose, smelling like an old wood ghost. So I took a rag and I wiped the Dixie Belle Big Mama Butter Orange Grove flavor inside of every last one of the drawers, making sure that I vacuumed them out first to get any dust, any residue out of there. And let me tell you, my room was smelling like an orange grove when I finished. And in the end, that desk was doing what it was supposed to do. That Ovation Plus paint gave what it was supposed to give. I tossed off all those old raggedy looking clothes, fixed myself up on my new vanity, and was feeling like a million. Now, for those of you that stuck around for the contest, this is what I need for you to do if you want to be one of the winners of these beautiful rose gold and clear acrylic hardware. I need you to share this video, and I also need you to make a comment. And what we're going to do is go through all of the comments, throw your names in a bucket, and we're going to choose 3 winners. Good luck. Now, you know doggone well I had to flip this little raggedy old mirror, and in order to go from Hollywood to Hollywood, I had to do a little more work. So go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel, because that's the only way you're going to be notified when that next video drops, when you see how I turned 1950 to 2022. See you, stars.